All right, welcome back. Round two, we're going to start dinner. French onion meatballs. Here we go. All right, so they tell you to get about 4 medium yellow onions. I had one very large white one, and I added another small one. You are going to slice these very thin. Get 3 cloves of garlic, also sliced very thin. I have a mandolin, yay. If you don't have one, you should get one because it makes this so much easier. You put a little bit of olive oil in there, and you cook this down very patiently with the onions, the garlic, and 2 bay leaves, which I've already pulled out. This took about 45 minutes to get it to this point. I then added the black pepper and the thyme. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to deglaze the pan with about 1/3 cup of white wine. Measure with your heart. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Once this cooks down a little bit. Hang on, I got to unwrap. All right, 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to cook that down until the liquid is dissolved. All gone, and the butter's in here all nice and creamy. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pull this off to the side, and we're going to let it cool down because part of this mixture has to actually go in the meatballs. So come back when we're ready to make meatballs. All right, your onions should look like this. See how creamy they are? They should look like that. Pull them off and let's let them cool. Don't you dare wash that pan. All right, baby, so where we're at is we took half of the onion mixture and we chopped it up. That is 1/3 cup of panko and about 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, and then 1 egg. Get your hands in there, make a big old fun mess, and then we're gonna make this out into about 16 equal portions. All right, now for the sauce, it wants 2 cups of chicken broth. I've got 2 cups of water here. I am going to use my dehydrated turkey stock because it's delicious, right? Why would we use store-bought? Then it wants a teaspoon of Dijon, measure with your heart, and also a teaspoon of wash your sister sauce. Again, measure with your heart. I'm going to mix everything in there because that's going to be our sauce that goes over our meatballs once they're cooked. I'm heating up my pan. Remember I told you don't wash that pan? We're heating that oil up. We're getting ready to fry the meatballs. And when the meatballs are mostly all done, we're going to basically do a roux. We're going to put flour over the top of them while the meatballs are in there. And then that's going to be your sauce. Yeah, so come back. We're going to put the meatballs in here. Hang on. We're making our sauce. That's good. See, then we're just going to stir it all together. That pan is nice and moking, so it's time to put the meat in there. All right, here we go. Now, these are soft, y'all, so be careful with them. These are not real stiff meatballs. That's what she said. Medium-high heat. There's about 16 of them here. They're roughly about the same size. It's close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades. Might be a couple of fatties in there, but, you know, that's okay. Who doesn't like a good fatty meatball? Don't fiddle with these things, y'all. Let them brown, because brown food tastes good. Okay, oh, cheesecake's done. Hang on. That cheesecake ain't done. It's whatever in the middle, so we're going to give it another 10 minutes. You see how pretty these are? See? Let them get like that on all sides. All right, they're cooked enough, so it is time to add the flour. Now, it's going to tell you to put in 2 tablespoons of flour because there were supposed to be 2 tablespoons of oil in there. There's more than 2 tablespoons of oil. So I'm going to put a little bit more than 2 tablespoons of flour, and we're going to cook it down. And the reason we're going to do that is because if you don't, you either have to pour some of that oil off, or you add more flour. Well, we're gravy people in this house, so we just gonna add a little more flour, and we're just gonna put more gravy in it, because if it gets too thick, which there's no such thing, we we'll put some wine, or we'll just add some more beef broth to it. Ain't gonna hurt my feelings none. Gonna hurt yours? I don't think so. All right, so we're gonna cook this flour off for a minute or so. You want your meatballs mostly done because there's not really going to be a whole lot of cooking. They'll cook for probably about another 10 minutes in the sauce, and then we're going to put them in the broiler to melt the Gruyere cheese, which is basically just European Swiss. It's a nutty cheese is basically what it is. And we'll put that in the broiler to melt the cheese right before we're ready to eat. You're also going to add the remaining amount of your caramelized onions, and y'all need to be patient with them caramelized onions, because good things come to those that wait. Now, I don't want to make a part 2, so y'all hang on. All right, now we've added all of our sauce in there, and we need to stir this. It's going to get kind of thick. Again, if it gets too thick for your liking, add a little more stock to it. I made mine pretty strong, so I could legit just add some water to it, because I added way more than a tablespoon. And I'm definitely going to have to, because this is going to be soup thick. So I'm going to add some more water to this, and then we're going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes. All right, I got that down about where I wanted it. So we're just going to cook this on a simmer, like I said, for about 10 minutes. Cheese. Lots of cheese. Put the cheese on there.
Is it sweet or is it savory?
Goes in white, comes out bubbly. All right, and there she is coming out of the oven. It's molten lava, so give me a few minutes, and we'll try a bite once I get the bread and the broccoli done. All right, so here's the dinner. We made some pan-fried broccoli. We've got our sourdough bread, and we've got our meatballs. So I'm going to go in. Y'all know how I feel about meatballs, too. So hopefully these are going to be good, because I'm going to be real disappointed if they're not. I'm not a real big meatball person. This stuff is liquid fire, by the way. So if I burn my tongue off for y'all, I better get some sympathy. You see that bite. It smell good. They smell real good. That's Chicky Sam, y'all hear up there. There ain't nothing wrong with him. He's just upstairs and wants us to come up there. Hey, that's a little bit of all right. I'm not mad at that. I think the next time I won't do meatballs. We'll just do like hamburger steak style, Salisbury steak kind of thing. That'd be easier on me, less work. Still tastes the same. Still come out good. Hey, this is good. Y'all know the rules. You want the recipe? Comment down below. Come on back for dessert though, okay? Love you, bye.